Thank you so much for coming. I am Jeannie Hay, and I'm the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I am delighted to welcome you to the Biddeford Campus Awards Ceremony. Tonight we celebrate exceptional achievements both in and outside the classroom, and just to celebrate the amazing achievements of our students. I'm going to move this a little. So, the UNE community consists of many different groups of people, and this event brings us all together to pause, to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our amazing students. Look around you, look left, right, up, down, front, back, and see the students, the faculty, the staff, the family, the friends, all of us who are here to celebrate your accomplishments. And I'd like to also recognize and welcome the members of the UNE family who are watching this evening's ceremonies via live stream. So hello, Tangier, probably some grandparents in Massachusetts. So wherever you are, we appreciate the role that you've played in positioning our students to succeed as well. We don't underestimate all that everybody in this room has done to help our students' success. We take academic excellence and achievement very seriously at UNE, and we understand that that high bar that our students achieve and that we celebrate tonight are just the beginning and a foundation for an even greater set of accomplishments that you all will go on to attain as you set out into the world. Students, the awards that you'll be receiving tonight are a testament to your leadership, your commitment to excellence, both on campus and off. Whether you've made your mark in the classroom, the lab, one of our global education members, in the community, as an athlete, through community service, or any other way, you've achieved the highest standards, and you've exemplified a commitment to learning and excellence that inspires others. And you represent UNE exceptionally well, and you've made us all proud of you. So before anything, I want to congratulate all the students here tonight. I also would like to recognize the parents, family members, guardians, and friends joining us tonight. We're grateful for the love and support that you've provided your students on their path to excellence. We know nobody gets there alone, and I'd ask that all of those parents, family members, friends stand so we can thank and recognize you as well. Yay! The faculty and staff members who are here tonight, who are only a fraction of the many that your students have met, deserve our sincere appreciation as well. Thank you, faculty and staff, for caring about our students. I know your commitment to them is what makes a real difference in their lives and makes the UNE experience what it is. Later tonight, we will be awarding a special faculty award, the Deborah Summers Memorial Award for Teaching Excellence. But really, all of our faculty members are exceptional in the work that they do, and it has been the professional honor of my life to lead the Arts and Sciences faculty for the last 8 years. So faculty and staff, please stand and let's all thank you. Finally, I want to encourage everybody to celebrate your success tonight. There will be different points in your life where these kinds of ceremonies occur, where we stop and take notice of the achievements we've made, the milestones we've met, and to share those with our family and friends. They're the sweetest moments in our life where our work yields results that make a difference in our lives and that of others. Continue to be the leader that you already are after you leave UNE, and you will achieve amazing sights. We here at UNE, as well as your families and friends, are immensely proud of you and so excited about what's coming next in your achievements. So please enjoy the evening, and we will get started. And I'd like to introduce Associate Dean Bernice Mills.
Thank you, Dean Hay. My name is Bernice Mills, and I am here representing the Westbrook College of Health Professions. And on behalf of the college, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of tonight's nominees. I would also like to extend our best wishes and congratulations for those of you who will be walking across during commencement on May 18th and on Friday, May 17th at our graduate ceremony. So congratulations to all of you. At this time, I would like to invite Amy Hale, the Assistant Vice President for Institutional Advancement, and St. Francis College alum Peter Chavanel, class of 1965, to the podium to tell us about the Alumni Scholarship Awards. More information about the scholarship opportunity is found on page 7 of your program.
Thank you, Bunny. Good evening, everyone. My name, as Bunny said, is Amy Hale, and I'm the Assistant Vice President of Institutional Advancement here at the university. And it is a real delight to be a part of this event this evening. Part of the work of the Institutional Advancement Office is to keep our over 25,000 alumni connected with each other and with the work of the university. We do this through social media, mailings, emails, and alumni events. We also collaborate with alumni volunteers, including the 29 members of the UNE St. Francis Alumni Council, who represent the classes of 1962 all the way through 2017. Another aspect of our work is to solicit philanthropic support for the university. Donations from alumni, parents, and friends of UNE, including many of our professional staff and faculty, go to work immediately on all of our campuses to support you, our students. And these funds include the support of the Alumni Essay Scholarship that we are here to celebrate this evening. And at this time, I would like to invite Alumni Council member Pete Chavanel from the class of 65 to present this year's Alumni Scholarship Awards.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. As Amy mentioned, my name is Pete Chavanel. Those of you who attend hockey games are used to seeing me in a different form of dress, standing in front of the gate, yelling at the players as they go on the ice. So this is a more sedate occasion, and Amy insisted I buy a suit and a tie for this. So this evening we're here to announce the winners of the UNE St. Francis Alumni Council Scholarship Essay Contest. In addition to other eligibility requirements, applicants needed to submit an essay that was at least 1,200 words on the following topic. Choose a book or books that have affected you deeply and explain why. With 41 essays to review, this was a difficult decision. The following students' essays were selected based on presentation, content, focus, creativity, and research. When your name is called, please come up to receive your certificate and then step over there and wait for a group photo to be taken. As a former English teacher, I was having flashbacks reading these essays, thinking of all the essays I've read through the years. I was especially pleased with the caliber of the essays that were presented to us this year. And in the individuals who were selected to receive the awards, I mean, there was just creativity, the range of topics, the books were fascinating that individuals had selected, a number of topics ranging from mental health to a children's book that an individual had learned a great deal from at a younger age and left a lasting impact. It was just fascinating to see what these young people were selecting, and without any further explanation, the fifth, we are presenting 5 awards, and I believe the total is $15,000 in scholarships tonight. The 5th award recipient will receive a $2,000 scholarship, and that award goes to Madeline Welch, class of 2021, and a social work major. Madeline? The next award, the 4th award recipient, will also receive a $2,000 scholarship, and this goes to Hunter St. Pierre, class of 2022, a biochem major. The 3rd award recipient will receive a $3,000 scholarship, and Samantha Daigle, class of 2020, and a nursing student has been selected for that award. Samantha? The next award recipient will also receive a $3,000 scholarship, and that goes to Hope Socia, class of 2021, a nursing student. And the first award, which is a $5,000 scholarship, goes to Sarah. And Sarah, with a name like Chavanel, the years I lived in New Jersey, it was Chavanelli, which got me a good table at an Italian restaurant. So I know what it is to have your name mispronounced, so I'm apologizing in advance. Sarah Ferrugia, and I hope I'm close, 2020. Okay, once again, I want to congratulate all the scholarship winners. I also want to congratulate the remaining awardees tonight. And as an alum coming back to visit the campus, I will have to say, for someone from such an ancient class, I'm so impressed with the caliber of the students that attend this university. And I want to thank you all very much. Thanks.
I am proud to introduce you to the range of national and international honor societies and organizations into which University of New England students have been inducted. Looking at the listings in your program, you will see that our students are well represented in these organizations, which select only the strongest academic performers in their respective disciplines. We're pleased to be affiliated with these societies that honor overall academic achievement, as well as in disciplines including scholar athletes, history, occupational therapy, and psychology. The names of the student inductees for all of these organizations are listed in your program, and they're an impressive list indeed. I would like to ask all the students who are honored members to stand and be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. So now we will get to the department awards in the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'd like to remind everybody that the awards for students in the Westbrook College of Health Professions will be made at their baccalaureate presentation next month. I would like to remind presenters to begin with announcing the names of all the awardees in your departments, and student winners, please walk up as the presenters start to read us these incredibly long lists of your unbelievable achievements so that we can get home before midnight. So with that, I welcome Professor Stephen Burt, who is chair of the art department, to make the first award. Thank you.
All right, well, I have a captive audience here, so I always read a short poem.
Yeah, he always goes first.
I know. This is A bird came down the walk. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angle worm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all around. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. Like one in danger, cautious, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean, too silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. Now, Emily Dickinson could have not recorded that moment, and we would be the lesser for it. I'd like to invite an artist like Emily Dickinson to the stand. Caitlin Tebow, can you come up? The arts are about... The arts are about observation, both of things seen and, more importantly, unseen. The over 700 students enrolled each year taking studio arts seek to find their personal voice, one that expresses their inner thoughts and inspiration. From these many students, we have to pick just one, and that's not an easy decision. And this year, it's Caitlin Tebow, so congratulations. Glad you could make it.
You head on over there for your
Okay,
photos.
great.
Thank you so much for the poetry and for the art. Next, I welcome Dr. Stina Brown, who will be presenting awards for the biology department, which includes aquaculture and aquarium sciences, biological sciences, and medical biology.
Thank you, Dean Hay. The outstanding students the biology department brings before you this evening exemplify excellence in the classroom and demonstrated passion for their field of study through many hours of project work, research, conference presentations, collaboration, and leadership. I would ask Vanessa Rivera, who is our 2019 Outstanding Aquaculture and Aquarium Sciences student, to come forward. Vanessa, a California native, has made good use of her time at UNE. She has been a co-leader in the Clownfish Lab, where she's been involved in organizing and maintaining the clownfish broodstock, the coral tanks, as well as organizing student work schedules and ordering materials. She was co-president of the Aquatic Life Support Operators, also known as ALSO Club, where she met weekly with members and guided their preparation for the Level 1 ALSO Operator certification. She attended the annual ALSO Operators symposium this year as a fully sponsored attendee and presenter. While at the symposium, she took her Level 2 operator certificate exam, having passed Level 1 last year, and her Level 1 water quality certification exam. She's gained a lot of experience through her internship at the New England Aquarium Services. Vanessa recently took her citizenship course in Mexico, and the experience has changed her life in many ways and has made her more mindful of being a global citizen and the importance of her forthcoming decisions about what she will do and where she will go. And we look forward to seeing where you go, Vanessa. Congratulations. And please stick around for photos. All right. I would like to invite Andrea Call to come forward as the Biological Sciences Outstanding Student. Andrea exemplifies everything that is good about UNE. She is a student athlete. She has studied a semester abroad in Morocco and has been a very productive researcher in the lab. She is an academically stellar student and has been on the dean's list through each semester at UNE. The accomplishment that raises her to the level of outstanding biological sciences student is her productive research work. She's worked as a summer undergraduate research student in Dr. Rosa's chemical ecology lab since 2016 and presented her research at several professional conferences, as well as to United States representatives and senators at the Council on Undergraduate Research event called Posters on the Hill in Washington, D.C. We're sure she will do well in her next endeavors. Congratulations, Andrea. Stick around for pictures. We'll meet over there. Thank you. And finally, the 2019 Medical Biology Outstanding Student, I'd invite Avery Bond to come forward. Come on up. Thank you. Avery started her career at UNE as a nursing major. However, in her sophomore year, she switched to medical biology in order to pursue studies in microbiology and biomedical science. In 2017, Avery joined Dr. Burkholder's lab, Since 2017, Avery has worked with Dr. Kristen Burkholder. She's been awarded 2 consecutive summer undergraduate research experience fellowships to support her work in the lab, and she has presented her findings at the Maine Biological and Medical Sciences Symposium. In addition to conducting undergraduate research, Avery has excelled academically and as an athlete at UNE. She was named the 2018 Commonwealth Coast Conference Women's Soccer Senior Scholar Athlete. In a few weeks, Avery will graduate summa cum laude. Following graduation, she will begin graduate school in the Department of Molecular and Biomedical Sciences at the University of Maine, where she will pursue a master's degree in the field of microbial pathogenesis. Congratulations, Avery. My pleasure. Let's go for pictures.
Thank you and congratulations. Next, we have Representatives Joe Habrocken and Amy Vlachos from the Department of Business, Sport and Rec Management, and Communication. Thank you.
I'll stand closer. I would like to invite Jija Young to the stage as the Outstanding Business Major of the Year. Jija has been on the Dean's List every semester and has earned the distinction of summa cum laude in the business major. While also completing a minor in applied mathematics. In addition to participating in the UNE cross-country team, she's also active in the UNE math team. Last year, Jija won an Innovation Award from People's Choice Credit Union while participating in the UNE Innovation Challenge. And the Department of Business is pleased to recognize Jija Young as the Outstanding Business Department Major of the Year. I would like to have Spencer McAvoy come up to the stage as the Outstanding Sport and Recreation Major of the Year. In addition to being a sport and recreation major, Spencer is also a double minor in coaching and business administration. And this past fall, Spencer stepped away from being a football player to learn the coaching side of football. Coach Lichten was very impressed with his contributions to our growing football team. Spencer's been an active participant, not only in student life, but also in the community at large. He has been volunteering in the community at local elementary school, and in the summer he donates his time at a child's summer camp. And I'm pleased to present Spencer with the plaque for Outstanding Sport Management Student of the Year.
Good evening. I'd like to give the award to Emily Ferrick as our outstanding graduate in communications. Let me tell you a little bit about Emily. During her time at UNE, she's been more than just an excellent student. She was a member of the crew team. She also volunteered at Biddeford schools, and during a UNE travel course, she had an opportunity to go to Ireland and volunteer in schools on the Emerald Isle. This year, Emily found both her passion and talent for the creation of stop-motion videos, which takes advantage of one of the oldest visual tricks of the moving image. Yet stop motion is used extensively in the world of social media as a marketing tool. Emily and her work were recently featured by News Center Maine on WCHS Channel 6. Emily plans to start her own stop-motion business after graduation. Our entire department is very proud of Emily.
Thank you, and congratulations. This thing is just not happy. I welcome Dr. John Stubbs, Department of Chemistry and Physics, for the awards from his department.
Evening, everybody. If I could have Elijah Toole join me up here. Elijah's our outstanding student in biochemistry of the year. He's a biochem major, medical biology double major. He's engaged in significant research with my colleague Stephen Fox, synthesizing novel organic organometallic compounds that can have applications for new catalysts and synthetic fuels and potentially new pharmaceutical compounds. Elijah's work has been extremely productive, and he's a very independent worker. He has achieved much. Elijah's also a great student to have into the department. He's always willing to help out when we need somebody to be a part of prospective student events or talk to others, underclassmen or so. And he's finally one of our National Science Foundation's scholarships in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics recipient. So congratulations, Elijah, and there you go. Thank you so much. All right. And the outstanding student in biophysics is Jacob Liff, who I understand may not be quite able to make it this evening. But he's, okay, so actually Jacob is also one of our National Science Foundation scholarships in science, technology, engineering, and math recipients. He's a neuroscience major as well as a biophysics minor. He's engaged in research with Professor Glenn Stevenson, and he's really just done phenomenally in biophysics, especially in the structure and fluids and motion course. So congratulations, Jacob.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. I'm going to introduce the next two presenters, just for the sake of transition. First is Audrey Bartholomew from the Department of Education, followed by Susan McHugh from the Department of English. So we'll get the E's in, or at least the first two.
I am very excited to present the Education Award to Tia Petunicus. When we select a student for the Education Award, we think not only about academics, but also who embodies excellence in teaching. Our department is guided by 4 principles: competent demonstration, rigorous mind, reflective stance, and compassionate heart. We had the fortunate problem this year by having several students we felt met all 4 of these: academic excellence, leadership within and outside the department, and high teaching ratings. What set Tia apart, however, is something that can't always be listed on a resume, which is her compassionate heart. Tia truly believes that all students can learn, and when faced with a problem, uses initiative and determination to ensure no students are left behind. Tia is a friend to everyone, and through her work with the Education Club, she consistently reached out to new students who were struggling with the adjustment to college and made sure they knew they were a part of our education family. Her positive attitude has been a shining light in the department, and any school would be extremely fortunate to have her on their staff. And finally, her cooperating teacher reports that she volunteered for lunch duty 3 years in a row. So, congratulations, Tia.
For the Outstanding Student in English Award, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Drew York. If when he gets here he looks familiar, it will be because perhaps Drew has been on the men's cross-country team his whole time here. He is a founding member of Paranormal Joe's Club. He has been a featured player in UNE Players productions, most recently Chicago, in a role in which he spoke and played to his wonderful warm sense of humor and love of comedy. 2 papers for different courses of mine, he has focused on this subject, so you could say he's an expert in it. But part of the reason why he has been selected the Outstanding Student in English Award this year is his commitment to academics. Drew is not only completing his degree this year in English, a BA degree, but he's a dual degree student also in biological science. We're incredibly proud to have Drew as a member of our department, but we are happy also to share him with biology. One last thing that I do want to say that distinguishes Drew, again, amongst a crop of incredibly strong students this year, is his commitment to creative practice. My colleague Jesse Miller, himself a twice published novelist, wanted me to share with you that Drew, from the get-go in his courses, demonstrated a natural ability for storytelling that I hope he will regale you with at some point in the near future, but that he's also committed to crafting that in writing, which really is a difficult skill, and in an independent study with Professor Miller right now is doing some really outstanding work, and just wanted to acknowledge that academics also involves creative practice from our perspective. So thank you and congratulations, Drew.
Drew, I really enjoyed your performance in Chicago. It's not easy to play a schmuck, and you really did it well. He really did. Let me welcome Dr. Pamela Morgan from the Department of Environmental Studies to give the awards for that department. Thank you.
I'd like to first call both the students from our department to the stage. I'd like to call Maeve McGowan and Alyssa Kane. If you both would come up. So in the Department of Environmental Studies, we have majors in environmental science and a major in environmental studies. So we have a representative for each here. Both of these students have really taken full advantage of their time as students here at UNE, getting actively involved in the UNE community. And so that's, I think, what really sets them apart. They're academically excellent as well, but they really do a lot of other things too. They're both student athletes, one Maeve on the cross-country team and Alyssa is a swimmer, and both have been really heavily involved in student government. So Maeve, first, she is an environmental science major. She is a political science and climate change studies minor, and she has done research with Dr. Noah Perlett. She was awarded a SHORE summer grant in the summer of 2018. Her project focused on how climate change affects reproductive processes in migratory songbirds. She's presented her work at a number of on-campus research symposiums and most recently at the Northeast Natural History Conference in Springfield, Massachusetts. Maeve is interested in the impacts of climate change and how we can mitigate these impacts through thoughtful policy and community action. As Noah says, she's really not a birder. She's not really even a scientist, I don't think. I don't mean that in a negative way. She's an interdisciplinary scholar, don't you think? She's an interdisciplinary scholar. She has used the opportunity to ask important questions about climate change, and she's tenacious and passionate about affecting change in the field of climate. So congratulations, Maeve. And now Alyssa Kane, who is a double major in environmental studies and business. A pretty rigorous double major that, as a matter of fact, I think when you were a sophomore, we decided doing those two majors was so hard, we were going to combine them to a new major, which we now have, called Sustainability and Business. But Alyssa was so far into the double major, she just figured she might as well finish the double major. So she did. And Alyssa has studied abroad. She's been very involved on campus in everything ecological. She was an eco rep. She's been a sustainability intern. She's also a member of the Environmental Council. She even tends our bees, and you may have also seen her tending the living wall at the new Ripitch Center. So her professors call her a self-starter, motivated, determined, organized. She's the kind of student that embraces all aspects of the college experience. So congratulations, Alyssa.
Congratulations and thank you. Next, we have some heavy hitter humanists, Elizabeth DeWolf and Andrew Rotundo, who are from history and philosophy. You going to do one at a time? First, I'm thinking we're going with history.
I'd like to thank you. I'd like to invite to the stage Kathleen Hemingway. Kathleen is an elementary education major and an English and history minor. With 3 programs of study, she has not only built a solid grounding for her future teaching career, she has given generously of her time in organizations including the Education Club, Habitat for Humanity, America Reads, America Counts, and AmeriCorps. She's studied in Ireland and hopes to go back overseas to teach history and English abroad. As a history minor, Kathleen has earned membership in Phi Alpha Theta, the National History Honor Society, and she has already shared the lessons learned here within her own classroom. Last fall, in the humanities seminar, Sex and the City, Kathleen created a detailed and age-appropriate curriculum unit introducing the history and nature of urban environments, and she recently taught parts of it to her 4th grade students. We are so pleased to see the application of knowledge gained in our classrooms now finding a home in your classroom. And we have every confidence you will continue to incorporate the lessons of history as you embark on the wonderful profession of education. Congratulations, Kathleen. You are so welcome.
While Professor Rotunda comes up, I want to take advantage to let everybody know that Professor DeWolf's class is curating a museum exhibit that will open this Friday on the Biddeford campus. It's really a spectacular thing, and I encourage you all to see it. Andrew, thank you.
Hi. So the first thing I want to do is, well, I'm going to be talking about Nick Usey. Okay, so he's not up there yet. There he is. So the first thing I want to do is tell you Nick's exact GPA. Okay? Sorry, that was an inside joke just for Amy Kerstead. Sorry, I forget about that. We're not supposed to do that. So what I do want to tell you about Nick is that I'm very happy to have him here. He's come a long way since he came to UNE. The first couple of years when he came here, we used to just talk about how he wanted to drop out of college and become a tech millionaire or something like that. But then something happened along the way, and Nick became one of the most engaged students that I've ever worked with at UNE. And in the philosophy program, one of our main learning objectives is to get students to see the connections between the different disciplines that they study here. So the different kind of methodologies in the different departments and the material and how it kind of comes together in a holistic way. And I don't think I've ever worked with a student who has done a better job at that than Nick. Everybody in my department agrees on this. I think the other people who know him know that he just has a true talent for synthesizing the information and the abilities that he's learned at college. So it's been a real pleasure to work with him. I know his mom came up here, and he should be very proud of Nick. We are, and it's with great pleasure that I give you this award as the Outstanding Student in Philosophy, Nick.
Congratulations. And I can say, as dean, I don't get to interact with, one-on-one with students as much as I would like. Nick seeks me out. I've had more conversations with him about really interesting things than with members of my family and my colleagues. And it's all because of his initiative, and it's exactly as Professor Rotundo said. So I'll invite another of Nick's, oh no, we're at math, sorry. Have you had Nick? This is the Math Award, Dr. Michael Archero.
Well, it's my pleasure on behalf of the Department of Mathematical Sciences to invite Jacob Todd up to receive Outstanding Student Award. Jake, now you know what you're nominated for. I met Jake a couple of years ago. He was and is a chemistry major. And he was taking an advanced math course that was a requirement for the major. And he struck me as a thoughtful, mature, and reflective student. I was particularly impressed by his intellectual curiosity and his penchant for asking questions that went just a little bit deeper and whose answers might unlock a bit of a deeper understanding. I convinced him that a minor in applied math would serve him well in his major and beyond. And he was particularly well suited to it. So Jake became a math minor. He's taken other math classes, and other faculty have recognized not only his talents and his academic excellence, but his effect on the classroom atmosphere. And another story, recently in another class, an upper-level class with more of an applied and less of a theoretical focus, I presented a mathematical result without any justification with the intent that we would use it in an application. And when Jake challenged me to how that result followed from any earlier math that we had seen, well, I replied, well, it's not obvious, it would take an argument. In other words, it would require a mathematical proof. So then he asked me for the proof. So I went home and wrote up a proof and sent it out. And he not only read the proof, but had it understood by the following class. And that was particularly impressive. Because especially in applied courses, it's unusual for students to ask for more proof, right? Rather than, actually in any class. So, and as professors, we get a lot out of it when we get some of that pushback from students. So eventually, and I don't see that it's actually shown up here. So Jake saw the light, fully saw the light, and signed on for an applied math major. And although I guess the paperwork is still making its way through the process here, so the double math with chemistry and mathematics, and without any prompting from me, by the way. So we're big on double majors, and the one with chemistry is particularly challenging, just from the scheduling and not to mention the rigorous content. But I've no doubt that Jake will succeed, and he definitely has the motivation and the ability. Jake, congratulations, and we look forward to more math explorations and fun.
Congratulations, and we'll make sure your paperwork gets done. I welcome Brian Duff from the Department of Political Science.
Thanks. Can I call Laura Wilkins to the stage? So Laura, who is bringing her young friend Lila, Laura is not only a political science major, but also one of the first class of global studies majors here at UNE. And she was the most excellent student in both. And Ken Courtney, who runs the global studies program, who's teaching right now, also wanted me to congratulate Laura and tell you what a great job she did. Laura, like many of the students we're hearing about tonight, has done consistently excellent work in college. And I just read her senior thesis this afternoon, and it was really excellent. But what really struck the faculty in poli-sci about Laura that made her unique in her time here is how she's like faced some like unusual challenges and has been so incredibly impressively just game to meet these challenges. So I'll name two. So Laura decided to major in global studies, which involves studying abroad, and she went to our partner program in Paris. And she found out something that a lot of people learn early years, which is that French people are annoying and alienating, and that was unexpected. That was a tough blow at the start of a global studies career. So I happened to be in Paris visiting the program and found Laura kind of bunkered up, and she was so not into France that she made me eat Italian food in Paris. But she rallied, and she was just 10 miles down the road from Versailles. She was refusing to look at it. So I put her in the car and got her to Versailles, and she kind of turned it around, yes? And stuck with it with global studies and has really done a fantastic job. The other sort of unusual thing that Laura did during college was create a small human. Lila, and when she came to us and said like, hey, just so you know, I'll have a baby in the spring, and I'll probably bring her to class. We were like, whoa, okay, and holy smokes, she did it. She never missed a step. It's really incredible. And being a young person is hard, and people sometimes hit the hurdle and trip, and Laura has not missed a step. And I teach about family, and Laura and Lila have been in my class, and Lila's happily served as like a prop in class, and will often make exactly the right face when I'm explaining something about how babies think or feel. So finally, I'll just say, Laura's thesis really is impressive. It's about which acts of violence we choose to label terrorism, and which acts of violence we choose to say are a disturbed individual carried out this act. And it's something that, a lot of people have noticed these categories, but she did a really interesting and insightful deep dive on these. She did several case studies, but even more impressively, dug into some of the most important and interesting political theory of the last 100 years to say something really new and interesting about the way we think about violent acts by different groups differently, and in particular how it affects not just how we think about the individual, are they a terrorist or a disturbed young man, but the communities that produce these individuals. And it's really insightful and impressive, and I congratulate Laura.
Congratulations, it's wonderful. I now welcome for 3 different awards from the Department of Psychology, Chair of the department, Dr. Patricia Long.
Thank you. First, I'm going to be giving out the award for the Outstanding Senior in Animal Behavior, and I'd like to welcome James Welch to the stadium. There's the podium. So Jimmy is completing a double major in animal behavior and environmental sciences and has been actively involved in undergraduate research with Dr. Zach Olson since he was a freshman. His leadership in the genetics lab has led to the confirmation that the northern bog lemming, a threatened species, is still present in the state after a 3-decade data gap, which is very exciting. He's also led field work on a project investigating scavenger behavior by vertebrates that used remote cameras to peer into the private lives of elusive wildlife and found that scavenging animals really do perceive risks associated with this interesting foraging behavior. His efforts have earned him co-authorship on 2 manuscripts, which will be submitted during this upcoming summer. And his excellent academic performance and research activities have also been complemented by several summer internships that have had him do such exciting things as tracking seabird behavior on remote islands, observing prairie dogs with a world-renowned behavioral biologist, and collecting data on nesting sea turtles. So congratulations to Jimmy. I'd also like to announce the Outstanding Senior in Neuroscience, Annalise Rademacher. Annie is a neuroscience major and is interested in a career as a physician. She's been working in the lab of Dr. Jeff Ganter since she transferred to UNE in her junior year, so she's made a lot of contributions in the short time that she's been here. Her work in Dr. Ganter's lab is focused on developing a way to measure pain in adult fruit flies, a method that she will be perfecting in order to help us better understand ways to treat chronic pain in human beings. Over her 2 years in Dr. Ganter's lab, she has spent hundreds of painstaking hours at her bench undergoing this kind of research. She's the author of numerous poster presentations given at a variety of conferences and has a manuscript in preparation. Congratulations. And then I'd like to announce the Outstanding Senior in Psychology, Ellie Layton. Ellie completed her bachelor's degree in psychology in December and excelled in all of her classes. In fact, her work earned her a place on the dean's list every semester, which she was here at UNE. She began research with Dr. Stiegler-Barfleur, reading in the Reading Comprehension and Cognition Lab in her first year here at UNE, and has presented her work at 6 national and regional conferences over her time at UNE. She also is a co-author on 2 manuscripts that are currently in process investigating the effects of new technologies such as e-readers on the comprehension process. The quality of Ellie's work was recognized recently as she was selected to present at the prestigious Posters on the Hill event in Washington, D.C., something sponsored by the Council of Undergraduate Research. A couple of other students have been acknowledged for that tonight as well. She's in a small group of very elite students who've been asked to do this. Ellie is a top performer in the classroom as well in the research lab, but she's also made large contributions to UNE through her community, serving as president for our departmental chapter of Psych-Hi, the International Honor Society in Psychology, as well as the Research Experience Club. She's going to be attending graduate school in the fall at Houston University to pursue a degree in school counseling, and we're looking forward to seeing what she's going to accomplish in the future.
Congratulations to you all. And I welcome Dr. Charles Tilburg, Director of UNE's new School of Marine Programs, to the podium to give the awards for the marine majors.
So I'd first like to invite Ariella Danziger up to the stage. So every program has that student. You know, that student that you try to introduce to all the important visitors, use an example of what the program can produce, or that graces the cover of your brochure. You pretend that she's a typical student, but secretly, you know she's spectacular. And Ariella is the student for marine biology. She's perennially on the dean's list. Her research is superb. She's able to speak in front of a large group, the president of the university, or even tougher, a group of elementary school children, which we'd expect from her double major in elementary education. She's presented throughout the nation on her research involving green crabs with Dr. Marcus Ferrick. She's designed new collection devices, and she's been instrumental in more than one faculty member's research in the School of Marine Programs. However, if you met Ariella, you wouldn't know about any of these achievements. She goes about her way without a whiff of arrogance or entitlement. Instead, she projects a kindness and subtle confidence that is contagious. It's quite extraordinary. Over my time in academia, I've run into a number of outstanding students at the 3 different institutions that I've taught at. I'm hard-pressed to find one that measures up to Ariella in all these aspects. Consequently, the School of Marine Programs is happy to award the Outstanding Student Award for Marine Biology to Ariella Danziger. So I would like, I got 2 more. So I would like to invite Lauren Hayden up to the stage. You know those books that you get that give you advice on how to succeed in college? You know, something like 101 Things to Do Before You Graduate. Well, Lauren Hayden should write her own book. For the last 2 years, Lauren has been on a mission to eke out every last drop of her education here at UNE. Okay, so be your own self-advocate, check. When Lauren first set foot on the grounds of UNE as a transfer student, she found something wasn't quite right with her circumstances. So what did Lauren do? She came straight to the dean's office to fix her problem, which she promptly did. This would foreshadow the next few years of her academic career. Get on the dean's list? Check, every semester. Travel to Iceland to study abroad? Check. Pursue undergraduate research at a very high level? Check. Develop new sensors and equipment for that research, despite the fact that none of us knew what she wanted to do? Check. She spent countless hours working on improvements to her remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, both mechanically and operationally. In that process, she learned new skills in the makerspace to craft parts and delve into the software code. She is now the school's resident expert on ROVs. The rest of the faculty come and talk to Lauren about how to fix our ROVs. Do so well that she got into our competitive graduate school here at UNE. Lauren did that also. Consequently, the School of Marine Programs is happy to award the Outstanding Student Award for Oceanography to Lauren Hayden. Finally, I would like to invite Noelle Wisniewski up to the podium. So a lot of students, when they start college, they look at it and say, I'm going to pursue one degree and I'm going to do it in 4 years at one institution. And Noelle looked at that typical pathway and said, that's way too easy. I'm going to take a more circuitous path to my degree in marine affairs. Noelle transferred to UNE as a sophomore marine science major and thrived. And then in the spring of her junior year, she was our first UNE student to participate in a semester-long exchange program in Iceland. I think it's safe to say that that experience changed her life. She called back from Iceland during the spring of her junior year to announce to us that she did not want to be a marine science major anymore and that she was going to pursue a marine affairs degree in 1 year. To be honest, we were skeptical that she's going to be able to do this. However, underestimate Noelle Wisniewski at your own peril. She is not only on track to graduate in May, meeting all the requirements of the new major, she's excelled both in and outside the classroom. She's made the dean's list. She's completed an excellent senior capstone project on the Arctic Council, which she presented at the recent Arctic Showcase. and she'll be one of our first students in our Professional Science Master's Program in Ocean Food Systems, where she will continue to build on her study abroad experience and get back to Iceland as soon as she possibly can. Her advisor writes, Noelle is not only a responsible and strong student who excels in the range of disciplines in marine affairs, more importantly, she is a kind and compassionate and poised young woman. It has been an honor to be her advisor and instructor, and I know she will contribute a great deal in her professional and personal life after college. I could not agree more, and so I am very happy as a representative of the School of Marine Programs to award the Outstanding Student Award for Marine Affairs to Noelle Wisniewski.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. I'd like to invite to the podium Dr. Julie Peterson. Dr. Peterson will be presenting 2 awards, one for our Women in Gender Studies program, which she directs, as well as the Jessica Cox Henderson Award for Activism. Thank you.
So to get started, I'm just going to have both students come up. Mackenzie DeVoe and Taryn Nutt, can you both come up here, please? I know, these two, really near and dear. I would be very sad to see them graduate. Well, Taryn we get to have for a little bit longer. So I'm going to start by talking about Mackenzie DeVoe, who is our outstanding Women in Gender Studies student. Mackenzie is a psychology major with a double minor in Women in Gender Studies and Political Science. Kenzie represents the kind of Women in Gender Studies student that best reflects the way our students apply gender as a category of analysis to the fields they pursue. She has been extraordinarily successful in her time here at UNE. She has been inducted to Alpha Chi, Psi Chi. She's been on the Dean's List nearly every semester, and she is an absolutely outstanding psychological scientist. She will also be attending Maine Law in the fall. Kenzie is also an activist. She is the Women in Gender Studies co-president. She's an intern at Planned Parenthood, and she's a volunteer at the Volunteer Lawyers Project. And she's an absolute joy to have in the classroom. She is a critical thinker, she is an excellent debater, and she is a fierce advocate for justice and equality. As one of our Women in Gender Studies faculty said, Mackenzie is one of the best students I've ever had. We are honored to recognize Mackenzie as the outstanding student for the Women in Gender Studies program. Taryn. It's not often that I get to talk about periods and tampons in front of an entire room of faculty and students and their parents. And I absolutely have Taryn to thank for this wonderful opportunity. So just to give you a little history on this award, in 1886 at what was then the Westbrook Seminary and Female College, student Jessica Cox Henderson challenged the gender-based restrictions on female student behavior and organized a protest against women's status as second-class citizens. In that vein, the Jessica Cox Henderson Award for Activism recognizes someone who not only studies but then acts on the basis of that knowledge. This year's recipient, Taryn Nutt, demonstrates this fundamental link between knowledge and action. As a Women in Gender Studies minor, animal behavior major, and the future co-president of the Women in Gender Studies Club, Taryn has been involved in many marches, many protests, and many events. But she is perhaps best recognized for her Free Your Period campaign, in which she successfully advocated for free feminine hygiene products in all non-residential buildings on campus. After a nearly year-long fight, she presented her ideas for why and how feminine hygiene products should and could be available to students on this campus to President James Herbert, who created a budget to help implement the free tampon program. Yes, we have free tampons on this campus, and they are locally manufactured. Taryn is the epitome of what we value in our students, a hard worker, a critical thinker, and someone who puts knowledge to action. We are honored to recognize her with the Activism Award.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. We now move into a series of special awards, and the first is named for Susan Hillman, our Susan Hillman Science and Math Education Award. Most of the students, and certainly all of the faculty in this room, will remember Susan Hillman as a dear colleague whom we lost too early from our faculty and from this world in recent years. Susan represented everything about dedication to her students, commitment to learning, indefatigable spirit, and just joyous joie de vivre. But perhaps of all her passions, she was most passionate about science education. Not only was she a researcher and a teacher in that area, but she was an advocate for science education and made UNE and indeed all of our community stronger for it. I'm so pleased that we have a Susan Hillman Award for science and math education, and I welcome Dr. Jennifer Stigler-Balfour to make the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to invite Courtney Parent to the stage, please. So Courtney is a senior psychology major who's been serving as a teaching assistant for my psychology statistics course for the past 2 years. When Courtney first applied for the position in my lab and I looked over her resume, I was not only impressed by her outstanding academic record, but also that she has experience with rock picking and riding a tractor on her family's potato farm. So if you want to learn more about that, you have to ask her after the ceremony. But I will say that Courtney did not disappoint. She's hands down one of the most dedicated teaching assistants that I've had the pleasure of working with. She shows tremendous dedication to STEM education and professional promise as a STEM educator in the field of psychology. And she's told me that she hopes to pursue a PhD in developmental psychology and to apply what she's currently learning as a teaching assistant later in her own career. In sum, Courtney is a bright young woman who's dedicated to learning both in the classroom, lab, and community. She's a pleasure to work with. She has a great sense of humor. I can attest to that. And she's actually also an excellent rapper. She has had very many accomplishments in the classroom, as a researcher in the lab, as a teaching assistant. And it's my honor to present the Susan J. Hillman Science Math Education Award to Courtney Parent.
Congratulations. You'll be able to carry Susan's name with you for the rest of your life. So here at UNE, we are fortunate to be so infused with excellence in our community that we actually need 2 different events to recognize all of our students' leadership and service and excellence. The first of those actually took place on Sunday, April 14th, during which time the undergraduate student government presented its awards, which are listed in the back of your program. One of their awards, however, will be presented this evening. The Deborah J. Summers Award for Teaching Excellence is presented to a faculty member who displays and represents all of the important parts of teaching and the spirit that Deborah Summers showed while she was at UNE. She was another professor in the business department whom we also lost too early. She was known, and I was not fortunate to know her personally, as someone who instilled passion in her students and reached them on many levels and inspired them to excel. It was UNE students, undergraduates, who created this award and who decide to whom the award is given. Again, as a leader of the faculty in the College of Arts and Sciences, it's just such a proud moment for me every year when the Deborah J. Summers Award is given, because it epitomizes the relationship with our faculty and our students, and students trying to choose among the exceptionally successful faculty, the one who most embodies the Deborah J. Summers traits. So with that, I would like to welcome Griffin Kaman, just finishing his time as head of undergraduate student government, to come to the podium and present the Deborah Summers Award. Thank you.
It is with let me try this again. It is with great pleasure that I get to present the Deborah J. Summers Award on behalf of the undergraduate student government. I am especially excited to present this award to a recipient that exemplifies the qualities that made Professor Summer such an incredible inspiration to her students. Whenever someone asks me what makes UNE special, my response is always the same: the professors. UNE students get the opportunity to work with thoughtful and inspiring professors each and every day. So I'm sure you can all imagine how difficult this task was of choosing this year's recipient. This year's recipient is no stranger to making an impact on students' lives, though. Having been nominated for this award 4 times in the past 6 years, it is pretty clear that this individual has encouraged and inspired many students and colleagues over her 13 years at UNE. One of her nominators writes, "She graciously offers her teaching through conducting paint nights for many classes and organizations, both within and outside of UNE. She is a gracious and humble human, tremendously gifted as an artist and a teacher. In addition to her teaching and community service, she has served on numerous committees, advocating for students, staff, and faculty at all levels." It is with great pleasure that I present the 2019 Deborah J. Summers Award to Sarah Gorham, Associate Lecturer in the Department of Arts.
Sarah, I thought you might want to say a few words. Congratulations! We're so proud of you. The time has arrived to present our university awards to undergraduate and graduate students for excellence in academics, research, leadership, and service to UNE and the greater communities. Nominations for many of these awards are submitted by the faculty and staff who work closely with the students, and a selection committee of administrators and faculty spend hours reviewing nomination letters and student resumes to arrive at these difficult decisions. To have been nominated for any one of these awards is an honor in itself. So congratulations to all the nominees who are listed. I'd like to welcome Kurt Smythe, Director of Athletics, to present the Scholar Athlete Award.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire athletics department, it's my pleasure and honor this evening to present to you the top senior scholar athletes of the year. I'd like to ask Emily Wasina and Dan Good to please come forward. Emily Wasina is a member of our women's cross-country team who is a health, wellness, and occupational studies major with a minor in special education. A Dean's List student in each of her semesters here, she is a George Mitchell Scholar and certified peer health educator. Emily has a significant amount of occupational studies clinical experience, including programs at Carlisle Academy, Biddeford Primary School, and Thatcher Brook. Emily had a highly successful cross-country season this past fall, winning the Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship meet to earn Runner of the Year accolades. She was also named an Academic All-American by the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association. This year's Female Senior Scholar Athlete of the Year is Emily Wasina. Dan Good is a 4-year member of our men's soccer program, majoring in health, wellness, and occupational studies. He has achieved Dean's List status in each of his semesters here and is a member of the Alpha Chi Academic Honors Society. Dan is also a member of the Commonwealth Coast Conference Academic All-Conference team. On the soccer field, he played in a total of 51 matches for his career, including 41 starts, and totaled 5 goals and 3 assists. He was chosen the team's Rookie of the Year in 2015. He has volunteered extensively with Special Olympics and served on a medical mission trip to Nicaragua in 2017. This year's Male Senior Scholar Athlete of the Year is Dan Good.
Congratulations. I now welcome Cynthia Simon, Director of the College of Arts and Sciences Internship Office, to the podium to present the Experiential Education Award.
Samantha Dinsdale, would you like to join me up at the podium? The Experiential Education Award recognizes students who are particularly high achievers due to the multiple and diverse ways in which they approach their learning, ways that are shown to develop people in profound ways. These students have forged well beyond the university walls in pursuit of learning. Samantha demonstrates a passion for experiential learning. She's a senior pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree in medical biology and has held Dean's List every semester. During Sam's first and sophomore years, she assisted with behavioral research toward a cancer drug and with research on nerve regeneration for spinal cord patients and those with chronic pain. She's joined the pre-SOMA, pre-med, and immune clubs, as well as Relay for Life. In the spring, she participated in a travel course to Ireland, informing her of how the education system differs from our own. She also declared a Latin American Studies minor, allowing her to better relate to diverse cultures in her life and future work. During Sam's junior year, she continued her nerve regeneration lab work full-time over the summer and presented her research at a conference in Burlington, Vermont. She then joined the NOLA Service Learning Club and became chair of Relay for Life. She's completed a 120 contact-hour credit-bearing internship as a volunteer in the emergency room at Southern Maine Healthcare, and she took on a unique opportunity to participate in a natural history travel course to Iceland. She then spent a summer studying, a semester studying abroad in Spain, where she learned to speak intermediate Spanish, which I'm not going to do with you right now. While in Spain, Sam dedicated near 100 contact hours shadowing a physician in the equivalent of an emergency room at a local hospital. She then took a quick nap. Back stateside over the summer, Sam shadowed an orthopedic surgeon at St. Vincent Hospital for 40 contact hours in consult, surgery, and post-ops. She again worked full-time in the research lab, this time as a SURE grant recipient. In the fall, she presented her research at a UNE symposium and at the Society for Neuroscience International Annual Conference in San Diego. Adding to her repertoire of service work, Sam has spent this academic year as a teaching assistant for organic chemistry. No sweat at all. She maintains all earlier mentioned club memberships and chair position with Relay for Life. And graduating with a bang, as part of the Immune Club, Sam has been chosen for a medical mission trip to Ecuador for 10 days in May that will help Partners for World Health and other organizations' medical efforts abroad. While packing for Ecuador, Sam is also currently applying to medical schools in order to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon. With hundreds of hours of internship, extensive service work, over 1,000 hours of research, and global jet setting under her belt, she's acquired the knowledge, skills, abilities, and practical experiences to make well-informed decisions from a deep sense of knowing, from wisdom. She's dedicated to helping people through sports medicine, and we wish her the best on her journey. Congratulations, Sam.
Wow. As you all know, UNE has gone global in a very big way, building a campus in Tangier, Morocco, establishing programs throughout Europe, Iceland, and elsewhere, and running dozens of travel courses every year. So we've developed a global education award, which will be presented by Sandra Leonard, coordinator of Global Education Program. Thank you.
Well, I have been very excited to stand here and listen to how many students that are being recognized this evening have also studied abroad. And we are very thrilled that we have 6 students that we have nominated for showing exemplary commitment to global education. And I'd like to take a moment just to have each of those students stand individually so that I can recognize the 6 nominees. Cameron Sear, who studied abroad for a semester in Spain. She took part in a global education program in Mexico. She has completed the Center for Global Humanities seminar series. She works for us as a peer global advisor, advising other undergraduate students in study abroad, and has helped us in numerous events. Thank you, Cameron. And Sarah Hassan, who is an applied social and cultural science major, applied social and cultural studies major. She studied abroad for a semester in Morocco. She's been a resident advisor on our global living and learning floor, and she's been a peer global advisor in our office for 2 years. Thank you, Sarah. Also, Quinn Lawrence. Are you here this evening, Quinn? Yes, there she is. She spent a semester in Spain. She's traveled to Mexico on a citizenship travel course. She did a summer semester in Cusco, Peru to further her studies of Spanish. And she is in the inaugural class of Global Studies majors. She also completed the Center for Global Humanities seminar. Thank you, Quinn. And I'd like to recognize Nina Logrand, who is another nominee. She is a double major in biological science and neuroscience. She spent a semester in Morocco. She wins the prize for the most faculty-led travel courses. She's studied coral reefs in Belize. She's done Caribbean conservation studies in Panama. She's done global citizenship in Mexico, and she's assisted our office in many events. Thank you, Nina. And Emily Machado. Emily is a pre-occupation therapy student with a minor in psychology. She spent a semester in Morocco where she did internship and volunteering. She attended a leadership conference there. She mentored high school students while she was there. She returned to Morocco this past winter for the first occupational therapy conference in the entire country of Morocco. And she has assisted our office in many global events. Thank you. And finally, Lydia McIntyre, who spent a semester in Morocco. I don't think Lydia is here this evening, but she also took part in a very rigorous cross-cultural immersion health program in Ghana. And we're very proud of all 6 of our nominees. We can only give the award to one person. I would like to call forward Sarah Hassan. Sarah has been a global citizen since she was born. Sarah is the daughter of Somali parents. She was born in a refugee camp in Kenya. Sarah is a major in applied social and cultural studies. She spent a semester in Morocco, and while she was there, she was doing an internship with an organization called Darna. Darna means our house in Arabic, and it's a home for vulnerable women and children. Sarah was there helping to build programs to empower women to build skills so that they could then gain employment outside of the center. She taught English and Arabic to students there, and she did an oral history of the center, interviewing the people who were there. Sarah has also brought her global education back to UNE. She is the resident advisor in our global living and learning community. She's also a counselor at the very prestigious Seeds of Peace International Camp that happens here in Maine every year. This is a camp that brings young people together from areas of conflict around the world. Sarah was an attendee, and now she is a counselor at that camp. So she embodies global education. She has an ear to listen to people from every walk of life, and we are so proud to give Sarah the Global Education Award this evening.
Congratulations, Sarah. Sarah's one of those students who you think she's triplets because she seems to be everywhere on campus. I'd like now to welcome Denise Nelson, Director of Housing and Residential and Commuter Life, to present the Student Leader Award.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor tonight to present the University of New England Student Leader Award to Caroline Cooper. Caroline, would you join me? Caroline is a student leader who served as a role model throughout the academic year in her various activities around campus. As a third-year resident advisor, she was instrumental in creating positive communities on her floor and among the RA staff. From day one, she impressed the senior staff in our department with her willingness to mentor and coach the new RAs as they were trying to navigate the transition into this role. Her wealth of experience and knowledge provided solid training for her co-RAs in their new roles. Her openness and personality contributed to the creation of a close-knit team. Caroline's passion for sexual health education and advocacy is palpable across campus throughout her leadership of the SHAG organization, and she is always actively trying to keep her peers on campus safe and leading healthy lives. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations. We now move to research awards, and I'm going to introduce a number of presenters and invite them to come up as the awards are presented. Dr. Jeffrey Ganter will be presenting the Graduate Student Award, and Drs. James Sulikowski, Amy Kierstead, and Julie Peterson will be awarding the Undergraduates Research Student Awards. Thank you. Dr. Ganter.
Julie Moulton, want to come up? I'm going to make a video of you. So I met Julie when she won a prestigious INBRE Fellowship. That's the IDEA Network of Biomedical Research Excellence. She chose to use that fellowship to start working on a project in my lab, studying pain in fruit flies. And since then, Julie has been working in my lab and almost full time, especially recently, now that she's just finishing her first year of our master's program. She maximizes the impact of all we do by working very hard on her own thesis, by managing the daily operations of the lab, helping to coordinate the work of undergraduate students, and having mastered a technique that only about 20 people in the world know how to do, that is ultraviolet light-induced injury-induced pain sensitization in the fruit fly. I think she could probably say it better than I can. She is trying to identify new ways that we hope to use to treat chronic pain in humans in the future. So if you suffer from chronic pain, you can thank Julie for her work there. She's presented her work in the form of numerous posters at local and international conferences, and is the co-author of a manuscript currently in revision at a peer-reviewed journal, Molecular Pain. Anybody read molecular pain. All right, well, fingers crossed for Julie's paper here. First of many, I hope, and no doubt. Congratulations on your successes, Julie. And can we do a selfie now, real quick, with the audience?
All right, Abigail Hain, come on up. So, what do I say about Abigail? Well, I've known her for almost 4 years, and she's the epitome of just an amazing undergrad researcher. Motivated, dependable, responsible, and a little neurotic, but that's in a good way. Which is, I think, part of why she's been so successful. She's been on the dean's list all semesters here at UNE, a marine science major, an English minor, and she's actually done some freelance writing, which she's gotten paid for, which is great with that part of her degree. She's presented at international conferences, which is great. She's gotten, and she's been awarded 2 SURE grants here, 2 different projects, by the way. And the first project was actually a peer review publication. So she's a first author on that. The second SURE award is on the Sharp-Nosed Shark, and she is presenting that as an honors thesis defense here on Friday. So she's busy. And that will end up being another peer-reviewed publication too. So as an undergraduate, having 2 peer-reviewed publications is pretty special, and she's deserving of it in every sense of the word. So congratulations. And I want a selfie too.
Way down. Okay, so it's my honor to be here this evening on behalf of Dr. Teresa Javodzinski. And I was going to say that she's not able to be here with us tonight, but I think she really is, both in her spirit and in her legacy. And if she were physically here, this is the point where her voice might start to get louder and her hands would start to gesture wildly, because she would be very excited to be calling Ms. Cassie Trask to the stage. So Cassie is a junior neuroscience major, also doing a minor in mental health rehabilitation, and she's worked in Dr. D's lab since fall of her sophomore year, when she started on a project examining the effects of BP3, which is a sunscreen ingredient, on behavior of male Siamese fighting fish. Her work resulted in her being a co-author on a manuscript submitted to the journal Animal Behavior, where Cassie volunteered to help with the revisions, and more recently, she was one of 4 of Dr. D's research students to attend an international conference in Puerto Rico. Her talent for research, her initiative, and her leadership in the lab led to Cassie being appointed the co-lab manager and lead student for a new project this year, where the group is looking at an assessment of female response to male fish exposed to BP3. Cassie played an instrumental role in the experimental design, trained new research assistants, and oversaw data collection, and has taken on additional and unexpected roles this spring as leadership and oversight in the lab changed hands. Indeed, it's been an unusual and challenging semester for many, but I've been duly impressed by Cassie's leadership, resiliency, and drive to continue work on the project. In the recommendation letter that Dr. Javodzinski submitted for Cassie's nomination for the Goldwater Scholarship earlier this year, she wrote, "I've been mentoring students for over a decade, and Cassie is easily in the top 10% of students that have worked with me on research. She is intelligent, well-spoken, and humble. Really, she possesses all of the qualities one dreams about when looking for undergraduates to assist in the lab. I have no doubt that Cassie will be successful in continuing with her research going forward. She has a natural aptitude for posing research questions and thinking about these questions from multiple angles. And this, combined with her relentless dedication to things she is passionate about and her work ethic, will help her go far in her chosen field. So Cassie, it's my pleasure, on behalf of Dr. D, to present you with the 2019 Undergraduate Research and Scholarship Award in the Natural Sciences.
So I'd like to ask Mackenzie DeVoe to come up one more time. I told you she was a good scholar, right? I forewarned you of this. Mackenzie, she is not just a women and gender studies minor, but she's also my lead research assistant. So as an active member of myself and Close Relationships Lab, she's been involved in 7 lab-based studies and is currently working as a lab coordinator. Given the psychology department does not have a graduate program, Mackenzie's doing the type and quality of work usually associated with second or third year graduate students. Not only does she oversee the day-to-day activities in the lab, including recruitment, data collection, research assistant training, communication, and data management, she excels in every aspect of the research process, including, and probably most notably, study development and design, implementation, and dissemination of research results. Kenzie's proficient in a variety of research methodologies, including experimental and correlational, and with a variety of platforms. She's particularly advanced in her data analytics skills for an undergraduate researcher, and should I list them all? I did in your letter. Correlations, t-tests, ANOVAs, multiple regression with continuous and categorical predictor variables. She looks at 2- and 3-way interactions. She's extraordinarily impressive, and her work has been disseminated at local, regional, and national levels. Obviously, Mackenzie is a hard worker and extremely productive, and while she excels in all aspects of the research process, I'm perhaps most impressed with her ability to ask novel research questions. As a recipient of the summer undergraduate research experience, she was able to do intensive research with me over the summer of 2008. During this time, she developed a series of studies to explore the direct and indirect effects of sexism on women's valuation of products tied to the female gender role. Not only did she complete data collection on a community sample of women, but she designed 2 additional studies. We finished data collection on the 2nd and are starting data collection on the 3rd right now. And what we found is really interesting. That women who are exposed to sexism differ in their valuation of cosmetic products like anti-aging cream, mascara, and products tied to domestic labor like vacuum cleaners and Swiffers, depending on their age. So when we expose college students to hostile sexism, their valuation of these products actually goes up. But when we expose older women to the same sexism manipulation, their valuation of these products go down, which suggests to us that sexism, which is sort of a form of interpersonal rejection, unlike other forms of interpersonal rejection, actually creates pressures to either violate or conform to social norms depending on one's age. And Kenzie, this type of research is the type of research that will get known, will get out there, and I can't wait to finally write up the publication once we finish study 3. So congratulations, I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations. And audience, I just, what you've seen is the tip of the iceberg of the student research going on in the College of Arts and Sciences and indeed across the university. It's really something that UNE excels at, and the students who are here and the faculty who work with them really just deserve the highest praise because they are hitting it out of the park and punching well above their weight. We now turn to the biggest awards of the night. We saved them for the last, and these are the Academic Excellence Awards. These awards honor those student scholars who have excelled in their academic performance and also demonstrated balanced commitment to their collegiate experience through involvement in leadership and service. It is really hard to choose among these, and we have an award for the sophomore academic excellence and junior, and then finally a special one for the seniors. I'd like to first invite Dr. Jennifer Stiegler-Balfour and Dr. Alex Campbell, who will respectively be presenting the sophomore and junior awards. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to invite Nicole Martin up to the stage. So I first met Nicole during her first year orientation, and from the day that I met her, she immediately took the initiative, wanted to be involved in research, couldn't even wait until her classes actually started in the fall. And from the minute that she set foot on this campus, she's been taking advantage of all the opportunities that UNE has to offer. Nicole started to work in my lab as a research assistant her first semester, first day probably, and immediately took the initiative to get more involved in research. What impresses me the most about Nicole is that Nicole is always eager to learn more and often takes the initiative to take on more responsibilities. As a latest example, she actually took it upon herself to take an online course on Python coding, fun activity, so she can actually help more with programming studies in our lab. To date, Nicole has already presented at 3 regional conferences and received a Shore Award through CAS to work with me on a new line of research this summer, a collaboration with the Center for Aging and Health at UNE. Nicole's performance in the lab has been matched by her exceptional academic record, securing her place on the Dean's List each semester since enrolling at UNE. She maintains this exceptional GPA while taking a heavy course load and also taking really hard classes, because she's not only majoring in psychology, but she's also minoring in neuroscience and special education. In sum, Nicole is extremely bright, she's motivated, and she's dedicated to learning in the classroom, lab, and community. And I didn't even have enough time to mention all the things that she does in the community, volunteering for a peer academic tutor, serving as the president next year for the Psychi Honor Society. It's a long list. We don't have enough time to cover it all because she's so impressive and involved in everything. So she's extremely bright and motivated. Her record is nothing short of outstanding, and I can't see what the future holds for you, Nicole. Congratulations.
Hello there. I am delighted to present the award for the most outstanding junior to Zachary Benoit. Please come and join us, Zachary. Zachary exemplifies all that is good about a liberal arts student. He came as a medical biology student as a freshman, and within a couple of years, he had soon declared a double major in the sociology department. Not only that, he is interested in math, he is involved in labs and tutoring, he is my personal research assistant, but more than that, Zach has this capacity to bring all those things together in this really impressive, integrative way, synthesizing things that I'd never even considered. And so he's kind of teaching me to be good at graph theory and getting me to think about the biology of all the things that I'm doing in my own work. So Zachary, thank you so much for teaching me so much. And I look forward to working with you next year as well.
Congratulations. We now move to the Jack Downs Award for Academic Excellence. Our final and highest award is presented to the outstanding senior who has excelled in academic accomplishment, leadership, and citizenship. I want to congratulate all the students who were nominated for this highest honor that we bestow, and I invite all the nominees to please stand and be recognized. to those of you just standing, and indeed all of the seniors this year, we quite literally don't know how we will survive without you. You've made yourselves indispensable and integrated yourselves into the lives of UNE in a way that will have a long-lasting legacy. So I would now like to invite Dr. Marcus Ferrick, Associate Professor of Marine Science, to present the Jack Downs Award.
Okay, thank you. It's my honor to announce this year's Jack Downs Award for Academic Excellence. And the award goes to Marine Science and Education double major Ariella Danziger. Now, Ariella came up here on stage earlier tonight to get the award for the Best Marine Science Student. She was up here last year for getting the inaugural Susan Hillman Award for science teaching. And I was told by the Dean's Office to not tell her GPA and to keep my remarks down to a minute. And how to compress 4 years of excellence into 1 minute. I'll try. So in parallel to completing those two demanding majors, marine science and education, Ariella was the chair for the Relay for Life team at UNE, raising awareness and money for the fight for cancer. She's very active on the UNE dance team, with performances at many UNE sports events and at national competitions. And I, of course, know her best as a very successful researcher in my lab for 3 years and 3 summers, I lost count. So her project spans from working in the makerspace, soldering and 3D printing, to field work chasing down plankton with remote-controlled gizmos, to then working in the lab on gene expression and DNA sequencing. She presented her work at 2 national conferences, one in San Francisco, where she experienced her first major earthquake. That's a different story. And then one in Tampa, Florida, where she also won the Best Poster Presentation Award from the American Crustacean Society. She's currently working on 2 publications to get that work published, and that will be out there soon. And with such a strong resume, it's certainly no surprise that Ariella was accepted into several graduate programs. Now, Dina Hay just mentioned we don't know what to do with those students now when they are gone because they're kind of irreplaceable. I'm fortunate enough that actually I don't have to work without her. She'll stay here in our graduate program for another 2 years. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Ariella, and I'll be looking forward to sharing the speaking duties at commencement with you. I don't know if you knew that went with the award. Finally, let me ask all of the nominees and awardees for tonight's awards to stand so we can give you one final recognition for your incredibly hard work and enormous achievements. Thank you, students. Thank you, families. Thank you, faculty and staff. Please enjoy some more desserts. Stay and mingle. We appreciate your being here, and good night.